As the rain poured relentlessly over the darkened city of Salem, a place shrouded in both history and mystery, Detective Ronan O'Connor had no idea that he was about to confront a case that defied all logic. Salem was no stranger to the inexplicable, but this was something beyond his wildest nightmares. One evening, as Ronan drove through the rain-soaked streets, his police radio crackled with reports of a bizarre murder. A woman's life had been brutally taken, and her body had been displayed in a grotesque tableau. It was a scene that sent shivers down Ronan's spine, reminding him of the infamous origami killer case from his past. As Ronan began his investigation, he couldn't shake the feeling that there was something otherworldly about this murder. The crime scene was filled with strange symbols and a palpable sense of malevolence. He had encountered the supernatural before, but had always approached it with skepticism. This time, however, he couldn't deny the presence of forces beyond his comprehension. Meanwhile, in a parallel world, a heavy downpour drenched the city of Philadelphia. The origami killer, known only as the Origami Killer, had resurfaced after years of silence. 4 individuals, each with their own secrets and motivations, were drawn together by a series of events that defied explanation. Ethan Mars, Madison Page, Norman Jayden, and Scott Shelby found themselves embroiled in a complex web of murder, despair, and deception.
As Ronan delved deeper into the Salem murder, he stumbled upon an ancient artifact, an ornate amulet bearing eerie similarities to the origami figures used by the Origami Killer. Could there be a connection between the two cases, despite their geographical and temporal separation? At the same time, Ethan Mars, still haunted by the events of his past, was led to a dilapidated building in Philadelphia. Inside, he discovered a room filled with unsettling symbols and writings, eerily reminiscent of those found at the Salem crime scene. The amulet and the symbols seemed to bridge the gap between their two worlds, hinting at a malevolent force that transcended time and space. While Ronan and Ethan were on their respective paths of discovery, they both encountered enigmatic figures who claimed to have knowledge of the supernatural. Ronan crossed paths with a mysterious psychic medium named Joy, who could communicate with the dead. Her abilities were both a gift and a curse, as they made her a target for malevolent spirits. In Philadelphia, Ethan found himself drawn to a reclusive scholar named Rose. Rose possessed an encyclopedic knowledge of ancient rituals and the occult, making her a crucial ally in deciphering the sinister symbols that connected their two cases.
As Ronan and Ethan's investigations deepened, they uncovered a dark ritual that transcended death itself. This ritual, rooted in ancient and forbidden practices, allowed the perpetrator to harness supernatural forces to achieve their malevolent goals. The amulet served as the key to this unholy power, and the symbols acted as a conduit between worlds. Joy and Rose joined forces to decode the ritual and its significance. It was a race against time, as the killer's next move threatened to unleash unspeakable horrors upon both Salem and Philadelphia. With the pieces of the puzzle falling into place, Ronan and Ethan faced a chilling revelation. The origami killer and the Salem murderer were pawns in a larger supernatural game. Both killers had been manipulated by an ancient, malevolent entity known as the Soul Collector. This being, capable of crossing dimensions, sought to harvest souls for its own nefarious purposes. The stage was set for a climactic showdown between the forces of good and evil. Ronan, Ethan, Joy, Madison, Norman, Scott, and Rose united to confront the Soul Collector and put an end to its reign of terror.
In a spine-tingling climax that spanned both Salem and Philadelphia, the unlikely group of heroes confronted the Soul Collector. The entity, possessing the bodies of the origami killer and the Salem murderer, unleashed its otherworldly powers. The battle that ensued was a spectacle of the supernatural, as our protagonists struggled to overcome their own doubts and fears. Ethan Mars, fueled by a father's determination, fought alongside Ronan O'Connor, who had learned to embrace his newfound abilities as a ghostly detective. In a heart-wrenching moment, the group realized that the only way to defeat the Soul Collector was through self-sacrifice. Each hero offered a piece of their own soul, creating a powerful beacon of light that weakened the malevolent entity. It was a harrowing test of their resolve, but they pressed on, driven by the belief that they could save their worlds from eternal darkness. As the Soul Collector's power waned, it lashed out in a final desperate act. In a moment of redemption, the origami killer and the Salem murderer broke free from the entity's control, sacrificing themselves to ensure its defeat.
With the Soul Collector vanquished, the worlds of Salem and Philadelphia began to heal. The rain ceased, and the supernatural forces that had plagued them receded. Ronan O'Connor, Ethan Mars, Joy, Madison, Norman, Scott, and Rose had forged a bond that transcended their differences in worlds. But there was a price to pay. Each hero had given up a part of their soul, forever changed by their encounter with the supernatural. Ronan, now at peace, bid farewell to Joy, knowing that he could never return to the world of the living.
As the rain-soaked streets of Salem and Philadelphia glistened in the aftermath of their shared ordeal, the survivors found solace in their newfound connections. Ethan Mars, Madison Page, Joy, Norman Jaden, Scott Shelby, and Rose shared a common understanding of the extraordinary, and they vowed to use their unique abilities to protect their worlds from future threats.